Hey everyone, Casey with C. Reeves Makes. I recently picked up this walnut slab chunk for cheap and I wanted to see if I could flatten it on my CNC. Now, if you don't have a CNC, you could sit here with a sander or a hand plane and spend a good portion of a day's work flattening out this piece. But having the CNC in the shop now, I wanted to see how quick and how easy it was to flatten this. A good friend of mine, Chris, over at A Glimpse Inside, recently shared his tip with me on how to clamp these down. He uses a Festool domino to cut pockets into each end of the slab, and this accepts the clamps so that way the clamp is out of the way of the bit's path as it's going back and forth in a raster program, flattening the chunk. I quickly laid out and marked the center of the piece and got to work flattening. There were a lot of imperfections in the top of this piece, so I was taking shallow 1/32 of an inch passes until I got down to a nice flat finish across the center. After each pass, I would simply put the tool setter under the tool, retouch off with the probe, and come back down and run the program. I didn't have to make any changes to the program itself. The program is just a simple rectangular pattern over the top of the slab that covers the overall dimensions. Another note is that I'm running perpendicular to the grain here instead of with the grain. I tried running with the grain and I was getting a lot of burn marks with the tool, so I'm not sure if there was an issue on my end with still learning what I'm doing here or if it was speeds and feeds, but I'd set everything up to Amana's specific requirements for the RC2248 bit, and the finish I was getting was much nicer when I was running perpendicular to the grain. After the top was finished, I simply flipped it over, reset with the tool setter, and got to work flattening the slab. I was amazed at how nice the finish was just coming off the bit. I figure if I hit this with like a 220 grit that it should look great and almost ready for oil or finish, whatever I decide I'm going to do with it. I'm thinking this might be like an island centerpiece, almost like a cutting/serving board. Going to have to do some epoxy work here to fill in some of the voids, but overall I'm super happy with how this piece turned out. So would you use a CNC to flatten anything in your shop, or would you do it by hand? I'd like to thank i2r CNC for providing me with the Series 6 CNC that I use today. I look forward to using it more in my shop as projects go on. I'm Casey with C. Reeves Makes, and thanks for watching.